Okay, I've really had enough of you being in this family. You're such an annoying old hag who doesn't deserve my brother. You need to break up with him immediately. An ugly old hag like you shouldn't be so obsessed with a young and handsome man like my brother. It's so disgusting that you would target him like this. You really need to hurry up and disappear. I'm never going to approve of this relationship, so you need to leave and never come back. You're so gross, Olivia. Regina, you really need to take a chill pill. How dare you talk to me like this when I've been nothing but nice to you? So cut it out, all right? I shouldn't have to put up with this. You don't seriously feel like I'm taking your beloved brother away from you, do you? I'd never do that to you or the rest of your family. Why do you feel like I would do something like that? He's a grown man who makes his own decisions. I don't control who he does and doesn't see, okay? I love Jordan very much, Regina. Can't we all just get along like a family is actually supposed to? I don't understand where your outrageous thoughts are coming from. Huh? I really don't get you at all, Olivia. The way you define love and the way I define love is on very different levels. I know you're trying to take him away. You're a complete and utter stranger who thinks that you can do whatever you want. That's not how this works. I'm my brother's precious little sister. He needs me, and you're trying to tie him down. It makes no sense for you to think that you can take him away from me. I hate you so much right now. You need to get out of my sight forever. All you are is a disgusting and disease-filled parasite who wants to brainwash my brother into hating his family. How could you say something like that, Regina? You obviously don't know me very well, and you're definitely overreacting about all of this. I'm not trying to do anything. It's true that you're his little sister because you obviously share similar genetics and from the same bloodline and all of that. I get it. I really love Jordan, all right? I will continue to cherish him for as long as I live, Regina. I'm not going to do anything bad to him. You're family, so that's why it's hard for me to just treat you like some enemy. Do you not see that it's possible for us to actually get along and share your brother equally? I'm going to be his wife after all, but surely he'll still want to hang out with you. Yeah, there's no chance of that happening. How are we supposed to get along when you're going to drag him away from me so that I'll hardly see him? You know, if you were younger and cuter, then maybe I'd consider your proposition. At least I would know you wouldn't take him away because you wouldn't think about doing that if you were younger. But no, he had to go and choose some ugly old hag off the street to marry. I know you've got some sort of plan up your sleeve. Everything you do is so dodgy. I doubt this relationship because it makes no sense for my brother to choose someone who's older than him to marry. You're not blackmailing him into marriage, are you? What on earth? I'd never do such a thing. That's a horrible thing to do. We've been in a relationship for a while now, and it's great. I think we go well together. Why else would he bring me to your parents' house and introduce me to you and the rest of your family, huh? Look, on the contrary, I want to ask you a question. What is it going to take for you to accept me as your brother's partner? I thought that us girls were going to get along great, and then you turn around and say things like this? You know what? I've got no intention of admitting what it takes for me to accept you. I probably never will accept you into our family. If you can, Olivia, why don't you try rejuvenating yourself, huh? You know, make yourself, younger or something along those lines. Maybe then it won't be so hard to get along with you. It would be really nice if something could just happen to you so that you can start your reincarnation process. Then you'd be young again. You are so awful, Regina. Even when you say something as unrealistic as that, you'd basically not accept me as I am. Anything I do will never be enough, right? No matter what I do to try and change your mind about me, you'll never recognize me as being with Jordan, will you? Even though it's an unfair thing for you to do? But if this were to escalate and you'd never talk to me, don't you think Jordan would be sad to see that the women in his life don't even talk to each other? If you're his precious little sister, Regina, I'm sure he'd like you to get along with his wife as well, too. Don't you understand that? I'm marrying him soon. Well, you heard what I said before. I'll never approve of you being with my brother. I'm just asking you nicely to not force my brother into marrying you, okay? Especially since there are members of his family that don't want either of you together. You're not a good match for him at all. Huh? What's that supposed to mean? Are there others in the family who don't approve of me? Who said that to you? Don't you think it's obvious, Olivia? Man, you are so stupid sometimes. It seems that you keep bringing up the fact that you're going to get married to him. How about we not mention that at all so you can leave and never come back, okay? Let's leave all of that blank, all right? Oh my God, I can't believe you right now, Regina. You're making things so much more difficult than they have to be. I'm in Jordan's life now. You can't change that. Your brother is very kind and sweet, so maybe if we just get through this, we can actually try to get along. I get it. It's true that marriage is not just about the two of us. But we're not going to change our minds about the wedding just because of your ego, Regina. You can't stop us from loving each other. Excuse me? What did you just say to me? Are you saying that I'm selfish? How dare you say something so awful? I knew that you would say something like that. Ugh, I hate you so much right now. You won't get away with calling me selfish. I'm going to tell my brother what you said. You'll pay for this. Okay, if you want to do that, you can. I don't really care what you do, Regina, because what I said is true. Honestly, I think that Jordan will agree with me this time about this. You really think that'll happen? You're dreaming. My big brother always thinks of me first. He's always protected me from people being mean to me since I was little. I'm his precious little sister, and he'll cherish me way more than you, because we're the best brother and sister duo there is in this world. Okay, you're going way too far when it comes to your relationship with your brother. It's weird. But indeed, it seems in your eyes you're a good brother and sister team. If you're going to act like this, then I think you should be more open-minded when it comes to his relationship with me and accept that as well. You know that I can never replace the connection that you have with Jordan, but you can't just push me away from him if he loves me. I'm not taking away Jordan. Do you understand me? Would you quit trying to get me to accept you into our family? Can't you please just stay out of the way? My brother shouldn't be hanging around such a wrinkly and ugly old hag. He should be dating other women who are younger and more beautiful than you. You really need to put a potato sack over your entire head and hide yourself. Wow, and I thought this conversation couldn't get any worse. Maybe I'm not the most beautiful person on the planet. I get that I'm no oil painting. But we've already got our reasons for wanting to get married to each other. We aren't going to back out of this plan, Regina. Oh, come on. Would you just shut up already? You're making things even worse for yourself, Olivia. I'm not done with this conversation, but you're obviously not getting it. How about we move this conversation to in person? Maybe then we'll get somewhere when we actually try and talk to each other. It'll be good for you to see me, because then you'll do what your precious little sister-in-law says. Maybe you can become a little more aware of your position. Yeah, that doesn't sound like a good idea to me. I really don't know if we'll ever be on the same page. I don't want to have this talk in person. But if you talking what you need to talk about makes you feel any better, then go for it. But I really don't think you're seeing eye to eye with me, Jordan, or anybody else. Oh my God, I did it! I really can't believe I did it! But everything is all good. You know, Olivia, this is your fault since you weren't listening to my advice. Oh, Regina, are you kidding me? Don't tell me that what people are saying is true. I really didn't think that you'd do this. It's such a brilliant idea, though, my dear sister-in-law. I came to your wedding in my mourning clothes since I thought that this is more like a funeral. If you think for 1 second that you can have a happy marriage with my brother, you're so wrong, Olivia. I'm surprised that you're still alive. I should have gone back to the other day when I pushed you down the stairs. I should have shoved you harder. I don't even know how you survived the fall.
That's it. I've had enough of your actions, Regina. This is goodbye to you forever. Don't even think about appearing in front of us ever again. How could you be like this to Olivia?
Jordan, is that you? What on earth are you talking about? I'm not being like anything to Olivia. I haven't got a clue what you're talking about.
I'm so disappointed in you. I thought that you were the sister who loved her brother, but obviously you're just an evil woman. I had no idea that this had gone this far.
Jordan, please don't speak of such things. I'd never do anything to you, okay? What on earth is going on here? Hey, Olivia, would you cut the crap out?
It's me, you moron. It's Jordan. I knew that things were going on between you two, so I couldn't resist looking at Olivia's phone, so I took it. I'm never going to forgive you for hurting someone so important to me. You've hurt her physically, emotionally, and mentally, and this has gone far enough. Now with the get-up you have on, you're too out of place for this ceremony, so you need to get out of here right now. I mean, Regina, just go and stop causing trouble. And I've got no intention of seeing you ever again. You're no sister of mine anymore. Our relationship doesn't exist anymore because you ruined it. Since you're wearing your mourning outfit, maybe you can have your own little funeral on how you murdered the relationship you had with your brother.
Whoa, Jordan, please just hold on a minute, okay? Is this seriously you right now? This isn't some prank to get back at me dressing in black clothing, is it? There's absolutely no way that my brother would say things like that. Hey, you said that you'd always be on my side. Why would you say that when you never ever want to see me again?
Because you've ruined everything and you've gone way too far. I don't want anything to do with you. If you don't believe that it's me, that's on you. Wow, Regina, you've really done it this time. You've really annoyed your brother this time. I guess he was being serious when he said he was cutting ties with you. I think the best thing for you to do right now is to take yourself out of the situation and leave the wedding venue right now. If you could do that before things get worse.
Please, just wait a second. Why on earth is he taking your side and not my side? I thought that he and I were allies in life. Give the phone back to my brother. You're such a thief. Jordan and I were trying to have a conversation. I need to sort this all out with him, so put him back on so I can message him.
That's what we've all been talking about this whole time, Regina. You're horrible when it comes to me, and your brother has finally gotten sick of you. I guess I have no choice but to ask the security guards to do something about you now since you're not budging. Please remove yourself now if you don't want to be thrown out.
You know what? I'm not convinced about what happened yesterday. I reckon that this was all a huge prank to get back at me. Why should I have to be the one who has to leave my brother alone? And also, none of my relatives are on my side with this either. Why? You know, I think that you've poisoned everyone's mind and turned all of them against me. That's why none of them are talking to me right now.
Did you not get what I was saying to you yesterday, Regina? I told you to never contact me again. I've cut ties with you. You're not my sister anymore. I don't want to be around some woman who's naive, selfish, and hateful like you. I've had enough, and I won't be putting myself into a situation like this again.
Why would you say something like that to your own sister? But I really love you, Jordan. You're my brother after all. How don't you see that?
Do you even remember what you did to Olivia, Regina? No matter how many times you told Olivia that you wouldn't accept her into the family, you still caused trouble. You kept calling her out for things she hasn't even done or feels about, and then you go and push her down the stairs? Why would you do such a thing to someone I love? Don't you realize how violent that act was? Don't you see that you're basically a criminal now because you intentionally hurt somebody? I know that it was on purpose.
What? Are you seriously calling me a criminal now? I'm nothing of the sort. All the things I did and said were for you, Jordan. Don't you see that? Don't you see that you're being completely deceived by this woman? Why would you go and marry such an old hag like her? She does nothing for you.
You're being so ridiculous. No matter who I marry, you'd only complain about her because you're so creepy with your so-called protectiveness of me. Even if I were to have dated a younger woman, you'd still probably turn around and tell me that she's just trying to get at my money or something like that. You're such a stupid and incompetent person, Regina. Should I really even call you a woman with the way you've been acting? You've been so immature. I wouldn't be surprised if you ended up saying all these horrible things to any of the women that I've wanted to date. You're just that type of person, and I hate it.
Hey, that's not true at all. You've got no idea what I say, and I'd only be doing it because I'm trying to protect you from all the ugly old gold diggers like your wife. How dare you go and marry her and then kick me out of the venue when I was just trying to stop her marrying you? I hate that woman. She's horrible.
Do you really believe that my own wife is like that? I've been going on many dates with different women, and some I brought home to introduce to you and our parents. Now that I think back to those times, even though it started off with small things, you've been harassing them for such a long time now. They broke up with me because of you.
What on earth did you just say to me? It was never my fault that they broke up with you. They were all terrible women anyway. Even if I were the kind of woman who would break up relationships, you'd still decide to break up with them someday anyway.
So that's what you think. I used to admit that to myself when you used to play up, that I would have broken up with them if I was still with them. But this time, everything was different. Olivia isn't like the other women that I've dated. I wanted to marry her. What you said isn't true anymore.
What's that supposed to mean? Are you disagreeing with me? Are you kidding me right now, Jordan? She's brainwashed you, hasn't she?
No matter how malicious you are and what kind of interference you make, you were just making sure that I would just accept it this entire time. I don't believe that I'm related to someone like you. No one whose blood would try and ruin a wedding by hurting and humiliating the bride.
Do you know why I've never dated any younger men, Jordan? It's because I didn't want to lose my brother, all right?
What's that got to do with what's going on, Regina? It's on you if you've done something like that. I don't care. Besides, it never would have happened because I'm not nuts. Up until now, I didn't even notice that you were out doing such cruel things. I feel terrible. Even when my ex-girlfriend said bad things about you, I thought that it was a huge mistake and I thought they were lying just to get back at me or something like that. But they were right. I thought that you were just being cute because you were getting jealous of all the female attention that I was getting, but I was so wrong. But after seeing and hearing what you were doing to my wife, it all became clear to me. I was stupid for not noticing, but you've gone way too far.
What are you talking about, Jordan? You know that's not even remotely true, okay? Don't you see that I was trying to help you get away from that evil woman? All I wanted was for you to date a nice woman who supports you and looks after you really well. Is that so bad, Jordan? I wanted you to be with a better woman.
What does that even mean? A better woman? I think I know a great woman when I see one, Regina. And that's my wife, Olivia. Are you telling me that there were better options for me out there than my own wife? Do you know how unrealistic you're being? All right, if she isn't good enough, then who is? Tell me specifically, who would be good enough in your opinion? What kind of person would you approve of, Regina?
Well, I haven't put a whole lot of thought into it since I never thought that you'd ever ask me this sort of question. I guess a model? Or an actress?
Even if I were to date someone who's in that profession, I'm sure that I'd still be deceived because they'd put their work before our relationship, and that wouldn't be fair. You've really given no truth to what you've been saying up until now. I'm getting so sick of it. But Olivia and I would agree with each other on that point. I've been nothing but nice to you for your entire life, Regina. And this is how you repay me? I never said anything bad to you ever.
Huh? What do you mean? But didn't you just say that you were cutting ties with me before? Doesn't that count as saying a bad thing?
No, it doesn't, because to be honest, it's not a bad thing to say. The women I've been with have definitely told me to do this, but then I avoided them because I didn't want to do that to you. But in the end, I finally realized that I was the one who was blind to all the things you were doing this entire time. I feel so dumb right now.
But you don't get what's been going on, Jordan. Olivia's just been acting like a good woman when she's not, okay? Don't be fooled by her brainwashing techniques.
What are you on about, Regina? What are you so threatened by? You ended up pushing her down the stairs, and for what? Because you think she's doing something? She's been nothing but nice to you. She told me the truth about what's going on because she knew she couldn't lie to me about it anymore. She knew how important you are to me, so she wasn't sure I would take her word for it. She knew how upset I was about this when she told me, and she embraced me.
Oh, come on, Jordan. There's no way that I would do the things that she's been saying to you. You're being deceived, Jordan. Don't believe her.
But all you had to do was say it yourself. I read all the messages that you sent to the conversation thread. You pushed Olivia down the stairs. You were wondering how she was still alive since you shoved her so hard. What kind of person says that to someone? Obviously, only a criminal would say something like that.
But that's not true. I was only joking about that. I wouldn't intentionally say something like that. And I'm not a criminal. Come on, don't you believe me?
We have the evidence of you saying all these things to Olivia. Don't you get it? You've been caught red-handed and you're still denying what you did? Don't you have any empathy for other people? I swear that you're a sociopath sometimes. You know what? I'm finally convinced that all these actions are your doing. That things that Olivia had said that I didn't believe and what she's been through recently is finally connecting together for me. You're way too much for me to handle. What kind of sister are you? You're obviously not protecting me. You're just trying to ruin my life and almost murder my wife in the process. Don't even think about trying to get back into my life. I'm telling you right now, if you try to touch Olivia ever again, I'll never forgive you for anything.
But that's not fair, Jordan. All I wanted to do was protect you from Olivia. I get so many bad vibes from her. You can't just shove me out of your life. But if you're going to do that, I suppose there's not much for me to do now. Is there any chance that you'll change your mind? Okay, you know what? I don't want you to leave me, so I just wanted to apologize for everything that's happened up until this point. Just please don't cut ties with me, Jordan.
This conversation is all over the place, Regina. I never know what to believe in anymore. I'm so done with this crap. Don't appear in front of me ever again, Regina.
Are you seriously kidding me? You've really gone way too far this time, Regina. You set my house on fire while I was sleeping, didn't you? Wait, what? Who is this? Oh, it's you, Olivia. This is a surprise. Why are you messaging me right now? A fire? What on earth are you talking about? I'm so relieved. You're so out of your mind. This is insane. Do you not want to help out your brother? I thought you loved him so much, Regina, but I guess you don't. And yet you go ahead and do something like this just to make him hurt some more? Is this what it means to return a favor to somebody? Oh, come on. Don't get so carried away. I told you to break up with my brother straight away, and you didn't listen to me. It's all your fault for not listening to other people's advice. You're not trying to make a baby with my brother, are you? How dare you try and do this without my permission? I told you I'd never forgive you if you continued to be with Jordan. Oh my God, Regina, you've completely lost it. You're absolutely sick in the head. How many times do I have to tell you until it sinks in? You're making this impossible. I had no intention of breaking up with Jordan because we love each other very much and I don't give a crap about your opinion anymore. It's none of your business. Why on earth are you still trying to continue destroying our lives? You're nothing but a homewrecker and your obsession with Jordan is so gross and weird. Hey, shut up. I'm not a bad person, okay? My brother is mine, and he needs to be protected from old hags like you. We are connected through blood, and you can't change that. How dare you try and get pregnant with my brother? I'm pretty sure he never wanted children in the first place. This is not good at all. You're literally crazy, Regina. You tried to basically end my life. Don't you realize that's a criminal offense? You're going to get thrown in jail if you don't watch what you say. What the heck are you talking about? How could I possibly be thrown in jail? You've got no evidence of me doing anything to you. Well, I wanted to tell you that I actually do have evidence of you pushing me down the stairs. I knew that you were acting very odd and I feared for my safety. Huh? Excuse me? What do you mean that you have evidence? How could you possibly have evidence against me? Stop lying to yourself, Olivia. Well, like I said, I thought this was a good opportunity to boost my house security. I put in hidden cameras so that in case something happened, we caught it on tape. You've been secretly filming me without my permission? Isn't that a crime within itself? How dare you turn this whole thing against me? Hey, I'm allowed to have my own security cameras. Plus, you basically confessed in a message that it was you who pushed me down the stairs, so stop lying about it. You came around to my house and committed a crime. The data was taken off the tape and I sent it to Jordan. He was looking it over and he is fuming. Okay, you got me, all right? Look, I'm really sorry about all of this. Just please don't turn me into the police. I can make all of this up to you. Look, I had no idea that you were pregnant and that I would actually have the guts to do what I did. I didn't mean to. It was all an honest mistake. You knew what you were doing, Regina. You were doing all of this intentionally. You knew I was pregnant and you knew that you were destroying our lives. We don't want to have anything to do with you ever again. You don't deserve to be in our lives and your brother doesn't need you anymore. I'm really sorry. Please tell Jordan to not cut me off. I'll make it up to both of you. I'll take care of errands or something. Please don't bring the cops or anything into this. I am begging you not to do that. No, you've gone way too far, Regina. We never want to hear from you ever again. If you try and do anything else to us, we'll call the police and they will throw you in prison. In the end, Olivia and Jordan moved out of their apartment because of the incident. Fortunately, Jordan works for a company that understood the situation he's in. They were glad to finally move away from where they were living. After that, Regina was taken away by the police and was forced to pay for the crimes that she had committed. She seems to be on the brink of despair, and you can't help but think where it all went wrong for her. She was left abandoned by the rest of her relatives and, of course, was cut off by her beloved brother. There was no way that she was getting back into their lives after all the things she did. Let's hope she rehabilitates in prison. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.
Hey, tomorrow we'll be celebrating my wife and I for our 10-year anniversary, and I want for you to come as well.
It's been a long time now, Bryce. Congratulations on being married for 10 years and all that, but I'm really sorry. Tomorrow I have some plans that might get in the way of things. And Grayson will be busy with work and things like that as well.
Huh? You think you are, Julie? Are you alright? Your brother-in-law is asking for you to come to this get-together, so you should know better to put anything ahead of my plans in terms of being important. You are my little brother's wife as well, so you saying that you won't be able to come to a family event is out of the question. This is why you're like a complete stranger to me. Not even Grayson was able to get himself a proper wife, I see. I don't even want to be seen here texting some woman as useless as you are either. But I had no other choice but to contact you since he can't seem to take a simple look at his phone.
Actually, Grayson has been really busy lately, so it's a good thing you contacted me about this. If not, we would have never even realized it was your guys' anniversary or anything like that. I know that we won't be able to come, but we can still send you and your wife a present or something in the mail as a way of showing our happiness.
Jeez. He's not even willing to worry about you anymore because you're such a waste.
I'm a waste? How does that have anything to do with what I said?
I'm talking about the kind of person you are to Grayson. But it's not like I really care since he himself is a completely lost cause.
What?
Compared to me, everything he tries to do just lays in the shadows of all the amazing things I've been able to achieve. That's why I can say he's a lost cause. And since he's married someone like you, that only worsens his image. Or maybe it's the other way around, and you've only ruined your own image more by marrying him.
Can you please stop talking poorly about my husband? He's your little brother as well, and you are far too old now to be talking about him like that.
I'm the older brother, so I can go ahead and say whatever pleases me. Stop getting so pissy with me for just saying the truth about you both. And please, tell me, what about my brother do you like so much? Like, honestly. That guy's barely got a brain of his own and is a complete loser.
There are many things I love about Grayson, and all of them I won't say to you because you'd never understand them.
Let me ask you this. Are you being pleased by him during the night? I'm sure he's not that great in bed, and that's why you're always pissy with everyone.
Bryce, that is not okay to ask a woman about. For the time being, we are not going to be able to make it to your get-together, okay? If you have nothing else to add to this conversation, then I'm going to say goodbye.
Huh? I've told you that you don't get to say goodbye to someone like me. And you were going to come to this party to celebrate us. We are going to be having filet mignon here, so come with an empty stomach. If you cancel on us, then I'm going to have you both paying for your wasted food. It's costing over $300 a person for this party.
$300 a person? You guys really made sure to get only the finest food to celebrate 10 years then.
And that's just how important my wife and I are to this family, so you'd better both be there. Cancel all those other plans of yours and make it to this party. I'm telling you right now that that is the right thing to do.
Understood. I suppose it would be a bit rude of us to not come and celebrate 10 years of you being with your wife.
And that's what you should have been realizing from the start. Things would have gone by a lot quicker had you just said yes to my invitation. You really are stupid. But I guess that's to be expected from a woman that married my brother. And I'm just going to let the both of you know now that I'll be having the family's vinegar used in the recipe for the fillets. So don't be bringing any crazy condiments to put on such delicate foods. This family makes the best vinegar around, And you need to appreciate the fine taste of it for once instead of the crap you and my brother must use. Hey! Leaving that seat I reserved for you like that is completely out of line. We are finally starting to enjoy the celebration with everyone, so why are you heading home now?
You think I wanted to sit in that seat to celebrate you guys? Tell me how I was supposed to join you all in that celebration from there.
You were just supposed to sit there and celebrate my anniversary to my wife. No matter where your seat is, you can still celebrate us with the passion we deserve. Why are you getting so upset about it all?
I canceled all my plans to be here today to celebrate you and your wife being married for 10 years now. But when my husband and I came in to eat with everyone, we realized there was no food prepared for us. And then you told us to sit in the back and use some cardboard boxes as tables and chairs where we could only ever have water and while everyone else had steaks. Of course the two of us would be furious with you right now. And to only make things worse, while my husband was trying to sort things out with the family, you came up behind me and poured vinegar all over me. What the hell did Grayson and I do to you?
Oh, come on now. You just happened to get the wrong idea from all of that. I never said before that I'd have food or anything ready for the two of you when you arrived. And this is why I hate idiots like you two. You only care about yourselves and will do anything to make sure that the situation is about you. And you told me that you didn't want only water for the dinner, and that's why I came to let you drink that vinegar. You should be thankful for that.
After doing this, why do you think it's okay to still laugh at us?
Why? Because I'm having a ton of fun. Isn't that great for me? Yet you're still going to complain about finding your use in this world? Are you sure you don't need to visit a doctor over your head? I think it's time you head to the hospital and get yourself checked out. I think it's time you head to the hospital and get yourself checked out. They will at least be able to tell you what kind of mental disabilities you two have. Today is the day of my 10-year anniversary, and we will all be eating filet mignon. But like I was trying to make clear to you before, those that are not family will only get to drink water and vinegar.
Bryce, this is the end of me funding you. I really cannot take talking to your brother like this anymore. I can see now why you really hate his guts. He's gone and pissed me off so much by the way he acts that I told him I'd no longer be funding him. I didn't want to make things worse for your family, and that's why I've been trying so very hard to ignore everything Bryce does. I'm sorry.
But having you say that to him for me, thank you, Julie. I'm taking our clothes to be cleaned at the dry cleaner, so on my way home I'll pick up something to eat for dinner. Also, I should really be the one apologizing to you. Because of me that you had to be at that stupid dinner and deal with all of my awful family.
You don't have to apologize. I know you told me before that you didn't ever want to deal with any of your family ever again, but I continued saying we should at least try going. I assumed they couldn't really be all that bad of people, but I made the wrong assumption this time, and I'm sorry. We could have just stayed home and avoided all of this.
No. Had we stayed home, Bryce would have only escalated things further. And I've got to say that filet mignon he had served to everyone wasn't even that great, so I'd say in total the dinner per person wasn't more than maybe $75. I think the only reason he was saying the food would be $300 a person is so that if we didn't end up going, he'd have a reason to ask us for that amount and get it.
What a dick.
All of my family are those kinds of jerks. I've always wanted to cut ties to all of them, but never actually got around to acting on it. But the fact that this time, it wasn't only me that got hurt, but you as well, I will not let this go. If I'm not able to find some way to teach those jerks that what they've been doing is wrong, I'll never be able to sleep at night.
Thank you, Grayson. I'm in the same boat as you now. After what happened today, I'm no longer going to be such a nice girl to all of them. I already knew about how your brother's been a real pain in the butt for you because he's getting the house and the company from your parents. And I've heard all about how much he's bullied you ever since you were a toddler. But being able to see firsthand this time just how awful of people your family is, I can no longer sit by letting them get away with that crap.
Julie?
It's easier to just cut ties to one another. But I really want all of them to have a taste of the crap they've all been feeding you for so long. Or else even I won't be able to get a good night's sleep. I'm going to make them regret ever acting like children all these years.
This time, we're all going to be going out for high-end sushi. We'll all be getting together at 10 o'clock, so you'd both better be there.
We have no plans of going.
Excuse me? You're my little brother's wife and will not talk back to me. You were just the kind of low-life scum that I'd assumed would marry my brainless brother. I'm not sure how many more times I'll need to explain this one to you, but you're the youngest wife in this family and will not say no to your in-laws. Honestly, people like you are better off being fertilizer. Next time you happen to gain a little bit of respect for yourself, maybe take yourself in to see a doctor. The fact that you are both as stupid as you are is causing problems for the rest of the family and those around you.
The only one who's stupid would be yourself, Bryce.
What? So you're really going to try talking like that to someone as accomplished as me? Who do you think you are to do that?
With someone as stupid as you talking to me, I'm going to have to make myself very clear in order for you to comprehend the situation. I'm going to make you regret ever talking so poorly about my husband and for assaulting me. You're in for one hell of a downfall, you pile of garbage.
You better stop it with all that tongue right now, you useless woman. You are nothing compared to me. Hey, you reply to me right now. You crazy witch.
Bryce, it appears you finally built that dream house of yours, and so I'm here to congratulate you. I'm sure paying off that loan you took out is going to be very difficult for you, but I wanted to say for you to try your best.
It's about freaking time you replied back to me, you rotten witch, and that just goes to show there is something seriously messed up with your head. I'm surprised you're even able to speak a language.
Can you explain to me why you think I'm so stupid?
The fact that you're even questioning my ability to pay off a simple loan is what makes you an idiot. My parents gave me this new house as a present, so there is no loan for me to pay off, nor is there one for them to pay off. I come from a family of very well-off business people, and so me having my 10-year anniversary means that they'll celebrate it by giving me this house. Only low-life people like you have to take out loans to pay for any kind of housing.
Ah, so that's what you've misunderstood. Your parents are only happening to pay for the down payment on the new house. And when it comes to the loan for the place, they asked your little brother to handle it all for him since he has the ability to do so.
Huh?
But because of how you treated the two of us just the other day, we're no longer going to deal with that loan for you, which means we're not paying it off anymore. And we'll be sending all the loan's paperwork to you now, Bryce.
Wait a minute. What the hell are you talking about?
For a long time now, your parents have been coming to Grayson asking for him to lend them some money. Of course, he would always tell them no to their request, but they just kept on coming and coming. And at one point, they told him that if he wasn't going to pay for your new house for them, then he'd have to pay them for all the money they used raising him. For some reason, your parents came to our house late at night and said all that, starting all kinds of trouble.
And that's totally fair of my parents to do. They were the ones to waste all their money raising some lost cause like him, so he needs to hand it back to them like the lowlife he is.
Did you happen to pay your parents back for raising you?
I'm the older brother, so I don't have to give them anything.
Well, if that's the case, then we're not giving them any money as well. Also, your family is all a complete group of nut jobs. They've always come over to my house when I'm the only one around and force themselves to come in under some stupid reasoning. And then they'll start to yell at me for not being a good enough woman for all of them and that I need to get your brother to give them that money. They have done it plenty of times now, wasting so many hours of my life trying to get me to agree with them to hand that money over. They're all sick, just like you.
No, what they're all doing is totally right. You are a stupidly useless wife, after all.
Well, anyway, after having to deal with everyone in your family so many times, I finally had a talk with Grayson. There we came to an agreement to give your parents the money, or at least pay off your loan for that house. However, based off what you did to us recently, we've reverted our stance on what we agreed to before. We will no longer be paying for your house. We're having all the documents for the loan sent to you and are changing the person responsible for payment over to you and your account.
Huh? Why do I have to be the one paying for the house? You lowlife should be more than happy to pay for my house loan.
It's your own dang house, so please pay for it. You'll be getting that company from your parents next anyway, so you should be able to pay off a simple loan on that place. Are you not aware that's how things should work? Well, if not, then that goes to show who the true idiot is.
Excuse me? You're the rotten witch of this family, so you cannot talk down to me like that. Hey! Why did the two of you not come to the celebration for my new house? You guys said you'd come and yet you never showed up. I had amazing food and everything ready for you two, and it all went to waste.
I don't remember either one of us ever saying we'd come to your celebration. Stop trying to talk about this like we actually wanted to be there this time.
Shut up. It's because of the both of you not showing up that 2 people's worth of food went to waste. So I want you over here right now to pay for that. I'm giving you an order.
I'm not in the mood to listen to your lame orders. Also, we're going to be cutting ties to all of you, so trying to threaten us will not work in your favor.
You're gonna cut ties to us? You're not the one responsible for making decisions like that. I can see that this conversation will get nowhere with a dunce like you. Give the phone to Grayson right now.
That's not going to be possible. Grayson has had you muted for the longest time now, so he never had to see your calls or texts.
Huh?
That's why he never read anything you sent to him. It's probably been a half a year to a year now that he's never read any of your texts or answered your calls, right? We really thought you would have noticed something by now, but I guess not. But anyway, for a while now, Grayson has been getting ready to cut ties to all of you.
What are you talking about, Julie? You think that Grayson will be able to cut ties to us? No freaking way.
You think so? Well, even before I knew anything about you, I was getting all kinds of stories from Grayson about how messed up your family is. He told me about how your parents only ever care about you because you're the oldest brother, and that the rest of the family soon followed in their footsteps. He's told me that when going back to your parents' house, nobody would even welcome him home, and it was like he never was a part of your family in the first place.
You think any of us wanted to acknowledge him being in the house? Not being able to get a single hello from any of us must have embarrassed the crap out of him. But that's what he deserves.
Did you know that you can at least say hello or something to him to make him feel a little bit more like a part of the family? But no, you all just ignored him for years, which led to him becoming really saddened about being a part of you guys. And it's not only about him never hearing any words from you all growing up. I've also heard about how your parents would make him thank them for letting him go to school and leaving him at home all alone while you all went out to eat. It's hard to believe there's a family in this world with the nerve to do something like that to one of their kids.
And what does any of this mean to you? He's not your little brother or son, so this has nothing to do with you. You can just keep your mouth shut, you stranger. Also, it's not like he was home very often anyway back then. So if he was never going to be around us, why should we care about taking care of him?
And the reason he was never home was because of a very thoughtful couple in the neighborhood. They knew what was going on at your house and would take Grayson in a lot of the time to enjoy his life with them. Grayson's told me that he views that older couple as his parents more than his own mom and dad. You guys are like nothing to him. And if you'd like proof of that, do you remember our wedding? Of course you don't, because you only invited that older couple to be there as his family.
He never invited any of us to his wedding? How are we supposed to care about him when he doesn't even care about his family? He is a totally screwed up idiot. He needs to be locked away in some mental asylum for that.
I believe it's all your guys' faults for things ending up this way after all the crap you'd given him. But that's just my take. The only reason Grayson hasn't blocked all of you yet and has left you all muted is because he's afraid blocking you all will get you guys to realize what's happening. And then you might try and do something bad to him for cutting ties to you all. After a year or so of him never even talking to you guys, your parents still had the nerve to come ask him for money? I can totally understand now why he doesn't want any of you in his life anymore, because I feel the same way now.
I have no idea what you keep going on about. You're just his little pet wife, and you need to learn when not to bark.
I'm totally on board never talking to any of you ever again. It would have been crazy of me not to get all upset at you after what you did during that party for your anniversary. And to think that Grayson has been treated like that all his life, it's freaking infuriating.
I don't give a crap about how your stupid little head feels about all of this. Give the phone to Grayson. tired of giving up all my time for someone who never graduated from preschool.
Grayson is not going to want to talk to you, and we are no longer your family as we're cutting ties. Goodbye forever. And of course, as for the money we were going to pay for your loan, it's stopping. So now all of you can use whatever money you earn to pay for your own dang house.
I'm not playing games here. I've had enough of your lip. So give the phone to that goddamn freak right now, you mentally challenged idiot. Bryce, can you give it up already with all this needless crap? We moved houses in order to not have to see you guys anymore. Now you're following Julie to her work, trying to stalk her back home? It's because of you that Julie is really scared, and at work she gets asked all kinds of questions from her coworkers about you. Leave my wife alone, you jerk. You're finally going to come out and show yourself to me? You're late to my party, bud. The fact that I had to go through all of this effort, even making your wife feel in danger to get you to talk, just goes to show how freaking stupid you really are. Tell me what the hell you want from us. Hold on a sec. You don't know why I want to talk to you? All of that money that was used to help you have a good life was all for nothing. So I want you to pay the family back $1 million for that. And on top of that, I want you to pay for causing me all this trouble, and for you and that dog of yours to hand me the house that you have. If you don't do it right now, we're going to take both of you to court. However, if you do give us all that I've asked for, Mom and Dad will forgive you and will allow you to finally help out with the family business. That's a pretty good deal, right? Who would actually want to work at that falling apart vinegar business? It's not falling apart. It's just that right now the place isn't bringing in as much money as it used to before. You have no right saying it's only because the company's not making as much money. The reason for that is half of the staff there leaving for another vinegar company that treats them all better. At this point, even a child would say you guys' business is done for. Why do you know about something like that? If anything, I probably know more about it than even you do, considering I'm the one that hired all those workers. Huh? What do you mean by that? What does that mean? Right now, I'm the one running the vinegar company that is currently rivaling your guys' place, or was rivaling it. Now my company has won, so there isn't much competition with you. How could some brainless idiot like you be the owner of any company? There's no way in hell. Go ahead and not believe me, but it's the truth. You can even take a look at the homepage for my company and see for yourself. My name is there at the bottom of the page where it'll tell you all about the owner. I had a look for myself. Your name is in fact written at the bottom. I'm sure you just ended up getting that company when the owners jumped ship due to it failing, right? If you want to call yourself a rival of my company, then at least understand what's going on within my company as well. The business that I currently own is part of a franchise that I happened to start working for a while ago. Then tell me how the hell you managed to become the owner of it. You have no right to be in that position, you lowlife. When I could no longer find myself a home to live at anymore with you guys, I was taken in by the owner of this company. Huh? And from there on, I was raised by him as though he were my own dad. We knew that after high school, I wouldn't have had the money to go to college or anything because Mom and Dad never cared enough to save any money for me. So in order to start forming a proper man out of me to take on his company later, he asked that I begin working for him right away. The man looked at me with the eyes of a father and told me I was like his true son and wanted to make sure I was ready to have his company when he was ready to retire. What the hell? This is just some stupid story. You don't have any of the skills needed to be a CEO, so stop trying to make me believe a story like that. I'm not lying to you, Bryce. It was actually a lot harder than you think to work for a company as the employee who's slated to become the next owner of it. That's why after high school, I was never around the house anymore, as I was always with that kind couple, studying all kinds of business techniques from my old man, as well as working in the company to get proper experience. And so freaking what? The fact that you're saying you took my employees from Dad and Mom's company is totally screwed up. You did all of that out of your hate for us, didn't you? I did not. As I told you before, those employees did not like working there for you guys, and you guys should be aware of their complaints, right? What complaints? For a while, I actually really did want to work with you guys in the family business, even though you all treated me horribly. But after talking with a lot of your workers, I learned some things that really put me off. A lot of them wanted to quit their jobs there and told me that if they had a place to start working for right away, they'd leave. So I asked the old man at the time if it'd be all right to hire more hands. And that's when I asked all of those that didn't want to work for you guys anymore to come to me. What? When did you do that? Oh, I never noticed anything like that happening, though. I wasn't going to do all of that right in front of you and everyone in the family's eyes. I went there one day disguised as a customer and handed off my business card to those that didn't want to work there anymore. And the following day, I started to get plenty of calls from all of them asking to join me. Not only did your guys' company lose a lot of customers over time, but in one quick swoop, I was able to get a lot of your unsatisfied employees to work for me. I think you're going to have a rough time getting that company back on its feet now. I know you always wanted to make that company of Mom and Dad's huge after taking it over, but now, well, I can't even think of that company as a rival to mine. Shut the hell up. You took all the employees we had here. I'm going to sue you for all of that. Well, that'll have to come after a lot of these employees of mine finish suing you all for everything you did to them while they worked there. You and Mom and Dad really did a lot of messed up things there, and that made a lot of employees feel uncomfortable. You guys and your company are done for. Your company, the house you live in, Mom and Dad, you're all finished. You, hold it right there. I get it. I'll apologize for everything we've done to all of them. And I'll even give them all raises, as long as they all come back and work for me. And I'll tell Mom and Dad that you really are a good man now for you. My Mom and Dad are not the same as your Mom and Dad anymore. All you guys are strangers to me. And that means I'll never talk to any of you again. Julie, my brother's company has finally gone bankrupt.
I see. So they're all finally finished then?
That's right, and thank God for that. That took a little bit longer than I thought to happen, though.
But to think that all that happened because of you is amazing. The fact that not only were you the one that hated being around your old family, but so did many of the workers here really helped us win this long battle.
Well, all of those employees are like family to me now because we can all bond over what happened to us there. They're all just as much victims to my stupid family as I was. And that's what's really strengthened my company a lot. I've become an even better person because of it, and I'll make sure this company treats all of them well. To think, had it not been for my family all being complete cunts to me all the time, I would never be where I am today.
That's a pretty difficult feeling to understand, huh?
Well, yeah.
But hey, you and I were both able to make it out of that awful environment your family had us in, and you've become a stellar CEO who can do anything now because of it. It's awesome seeing you take care of all your employees so well. And the fact that you were able to tell your old family to screw off is just, well, it's amazing to me. I'm so happy that I married someone as strong and forthcoming as you are, Grayson. So please be happy for everything that's happened and forget about what your family did to you that got you here.
Julie, thank you.
By the way, when it comes to your old man, he and his wife are going to be having their 40th anniversary here soon, right? It's been a while since we've been to a good party, so do you want to celebrate with them?
You've got a good point there. Let's go take them out with the rest of their friends and family and celebrate.
Bryce and the rest of that family ended up losing their company and now owe a lot of money. They had tried many times to find some way to sell a lot of whatever they had left in inventory, but most of the customers they had no longer wanted their products because the quality had fallen so much in their rush to try and save the place. But that was not all for them, as they now all needed to go to court, where they were being sued for all the horrible things they did to their employees, like not paying them on time and having them work overtime with no extra pay. There were also those even more rare instances of the family threatening the employees with things like pay decreases and less time on the schedule if they became sick, which did not sound very good to the judge in the courtroom. Because of all this, they began to owe even more money through both settlements to the victims and through heavy fines to the state. All of this is only putting them deeper into debt, and since all of their savings have been exhausted and they no longer have any income, they're pretty much stuck between a rock and a hard place. And since all of them are complete jerks about everything and to everyone, nobody is going to come and help them out with their struggles. Even when they go to banks looking for money to borrow to help with everything, they'll treat the staff horribly, leaving them kicked out of those banks for good. And so because of that, they're left with few choices and are most likely going to start having to talk to loan sharks and people like that. As for right now, they're planning to sell their home so that they have a little money to use for making payments. And then they'll try and live a life on the streets as a family. On the other hand, we have Grayson and his company, which is doing so well he's planning to open another factory up to make more vinegar and other condiments. And of course with that, he will gain even more employees who he can view as his family. He has a lot more people that he needs to care about, but this has made him even more energetic about his new job as CEO. And seeing him this excited over the growth of his company has made me feel excited for him as well. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Hey, Sophia. Your health seems to have improved a lot recently. So why not just end your marriage and get a divorce? You used to be so incredibly frail and constantly in and out of the hospital because of your poor health. You probably couldn't have lived independently without my brother's constant help and support. But now it's unnecessary. It's about time you seriously consider the idea of living on your own, don't you think?
You want me to divorce your brother? Do you really mean that, Kaylee? I always knew that you never really liked me much, but I didn't realize that you wanted me to take such a drastic step, like getting a divorce with Noah. I'm glad to say that it's true I'm not nearly as sick as I used to be. I feel much less pain now. But Kaylee, you don't understand that that's only because I learned how to take better care of myself. I'm finally receiving effective treatment. I still have to be careful with my health, taking it easy to avoid any complications, you know.
So are you really planning to continue leeching off my brother forever?
What? Are you serious right now? You're saying I leech off my husband? You're jumping to conclusions here.
Well, that's exactly what you're doing, isn't it? You're taking advantage of him. My brother used to steal so many girls' hearts. You know him. He was always out and about with them. But ever since he married you, he stopped going out and enjoying himself like he used to because of your constant illness. It's like he's completely lost the spark that made him so lively and fun, you know? I honestly feel really sorry for him, having to give up so much of his happiness because of your condition. Besides, not only does he have to work tirelessly to support the entire family, but he also has to care for you. He's always so incredibly busy, and it's clear that the stress is taking a toll on him. He looks exhausted. It's almost like you've put a curse on him. You're like the Grim Reaper, draining all of his life away.
Why are you saying such hurtful things to me out of nowhere? I'm working too, you know. Just because I'm at home doesn't mean I'm not doing anything every day. I'm making money in my own way.
Oh, really? How would I know if you're actually working in there? You're constantly in your room, so you could just be laying around and wasting time. You're not doing anything worthwhile anyway, right? I mean, why would you when you can use Noah for his income? Jobs where you can work from home barely bring in any real money, you know. I looked into it myself, and none of those seem to pay well at all. I guarantee you they pay way less than my current job.
If you're butting into my life and saying that with so much confidence, maybe you should consider making some real changes to yours. I wanted to ask you, when exactly are you planning to move out and live on your own, Kaylee? It's been years since you've been out of school.
This is so irrelevant. Whether I choose to move out or not is none of your business. Why are you talking about this all of a sudden?
Well, I thought you'd move out once you got married, but it seems like you're still here, single as always. Kaylee, you don't even seem to be looking for a boyfriend. You just stay at home most of the time, only going out occasionally for that small part-time job of yours. Is that the kind of lifestyle really okay for you? Just existing without any meaningful plans and ambitions? I mean, you're getting nowhere.
What? I can't believe you're saying this to me. Besides, you're the absolute last person I want to hear that from. I should be the one telling that to you. You're the one who can't live on their own, constantly leeching off my brother and relying on him for everything. You're nothing but a burden who's barely being kept alive by him.
Even if you say that, it doesn't change the fact that your situation isn't much better than mine. In fact, I think it's worse. It's been a really long time since you started living in this house, right, Kaylee? Aren't you tired of this house? I mean, you're old enough to get married and move out by now, yet you're clinging on to this place.
I started living here for the sake of our parents. They needed someone to rely on, and I couldn't just leave them alone. Besides, my brother was always out chasing after women and wouldn't support them. Our poor parents having to live with my unreliable brother and his burden of a wife. It's just too sad to bear seeing them struggle because of you two. They deserve better than this, and I'm here to help them. And besides, I'm not stupid like you. I wouldn't make the same mistakes you did, marrying a scumbag like my brother who's been with countless women in the past. If I ever decide to marry, it'll be to an amazing guy, someone who is truly worth committing my life to. Although, I must admit, it's been really hard to find someone like that.
Yeah, I would guess that's the case. Hold on. You aren't making any sense. You talk about how I'm a bad fit for your brother, about how he can do so much better than me. But deep down, you don't want to marry someone like him personally. So do you admire his past behavior or despise it? It's a bit contradictory, isn't it? I don't really get it. Your logic doesn't make much sense to me.
Well, I don't care at all if you don't understand me. Your opinions don't bother me in the slightest.
Honestly, I need to be real with you. I shouldn't be saying this because I'm the sick one here, but the way you've been living your life is seriously unhealthy. Just look at yourself. You look completely different. Since you came back here to start living in this house, how much weight have you gained? You barely do any housework, and you have a job but rarely go to work. You just spend most of your time eating and lounging around. You're always lying on the couch, watching TV for hours on end without doing anything productive. I'd guess you've gained about 30 pounds, right? The changes in your appearance are pretty noticeable. I really think you should consider exercising a bit more and eating a bit healthier.
Sophia, you're so awful. Who do you think you are? How dare you talk to me as if you're so much better than me? I'm living my life to please myself, not people like you. I don't care if I don't meet your standards or anyone else's, so mind your own business and leave me alone. Besides, you're certainly not in any position to say anything to me about how I live my life.
No, you've gone too far. Living so lazily without covering rent or your share of the living expenses is really irresponsible.
Don't mess with me. You're just trying to trick me into paying you, but that won't work. I know your secret.
My secret? What are you even talking about?
I heard that you're only paying $300 for rent every month. It's true, right?
What?
How can you act so high and mighty when you're only contributing $300 a month for rent? You better not get cocky with me, because you're the one who's been leeching off my family for all this time. I can easily cover that amount by myself, so you need to get out. There's no place for you here anymore, and it's time for you to leave.
What? Are you saying I can finally get out of here? Kaylee, do you really mean that? You're not just saying this to mess with me, right?
Of course not. There's no doubt about it. I don't want you here anymore. You better get out by the end of the day. Pack your things and leave already.
Understood. Thank you so much.
Sophia, I got a call from Mom and Dad earlier today, and they had some sudden news to share with me. They didn't expect you to leave, too. Your departure took them by surprise because I did the same thing a while ago. They said you should come back soon and get in touch with them. It's funny how they're reaching out to you the moment you leave. I'm starting to feel like it was really stupid to help them all this time, given how things turned out.
Yeah, I figured they would react that way. It's typical of them to be concerned only after they're bothered by something. You're not planning to send them any more money, right?
Nope, I won't send them anything anymore. They always make everything about my sister whenever she's around. It's like we don't even exist in those moments. They're normal when she's not around, though. It's only when she's close by that they start acting differently. You saw it too, right, Sophia? The moment she came back, their entire focus shifted to her and we were sidelined. It's fine that she's living comfortably, but it's unfair that they dump all the burden on us to make that happen.
It's not just me, but especially for you, Noah. As the older brother, you have to bear the burden most of the time without any thanks. And our in-laws always want to look good in front of Kaylee. That's why they just take credit for everything, while we're left with the real work. I knew it was always like that with you, but seeing it firsthand, it showed how unfair the situation really is. It was really unpleasant for me, and I know it was for you too.
That's why I used to go out with any woman I could find, desperately trying to fill that hole in my heart. My parents never cared for me as much as they did for her, and it was a painful realization. But even that never really filled the emptiness. No matter how many relationships I had, it never truly satisfied me. Then I met you, and things finally started to change. You were different from everyone else I'd known before.
Well, I guess that makes me your savior then.
Yeah, but you should know that I'm not joking when I say that's really how I feel. You brought something into my life that was missing. It's like I finally got what I was looking for. Something genuine and real that I couldn't find elsewhere. Sophia, you're so warm and accepting. You make me feel like I'm okay just the way I am without needing to change. You even accept my flaws and things I've always been ashamed of. I think it has something to do with how you've been weak with your illness and had tough times too. You were able to be kind to me when I was worn out, and that makes me feel truly understood.
Yeah, I guess so. It wasn't easy, but maybe going through my own struggles helped me connect with you better. I also struggled with my family. My parents always wanted a boy, so they were excited when my little brother was born. They put all their time and energy into raising my brother and barely looked in my direction. I guess it didn't help them that my medical treatment was so expensive. It's like I was more of a burden than a joy to them. It was my own fault for being born weak with this sickness, but their coldness was weighing on me. It's no wonder why they spoiled him for years, and for that, I was often left feeling neglected. On the other hand, you fulfilled your role as the older brother in the family, despite the unfairness you faced. And I saw how you were trying to fill that void in your life. I saw how much you were struggling by being treated so terribly by your family. I wanted to care for you, not like how a sister cares for her little brother. Instead, I had a deep need to not feel alone. When I'm with you, it helps me to not feel so lonely. We lean on each other during difficult times, and I'm grateful.
I guess we both needed each other. It's funny how we ended up being each other's support so effortlessly.
Speaking of which, do you not regret your decision? I mean, was it really okay to make such a big decision? To leave your home and your family behind like that without hesitation?
My family now is you, Sophia. You're the most important person to me, and that's all that matters in my life. I've done more than enough for my parents and Kaylee over the years, given them everything I could, but now I've seen how careless they are towards you. I don't see any reason to do anything more for people who don't really care about you, Sophia.
I understand.
And honestly, when I saw the messages from Kaylee that you showed me, I couldn't believe what I was reading. It's obvious that she's the one taking advantage of their money, but she never admitted it. And then they had the audacity to try and make me pay for her study abroad fees, like it was my responsibility. I was honestly just disgusted by the whole situation.
Yeah, I get that. I've had similar feelings seeing how things have played out over the years with her. I've always wondered how things could be so one-sided. Even though she made us do most of the chores and responsibilities, she'd always complain and tease me about how sick I was. It made me really mad, Seeing her manipulate everyone like that while we had to pick up the slack. Finally, leaving that house is a huge relief for me. I feel like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
Plus, your illness was at its peak a long time ago. You've been doing fine for years since then. You can't overdo it, of course, but you're living normally now. Honestly, looking at her flabby body, it's clear she's the one who's actually unhealthy, not you. It's ironic how things turned out, given all her previous complaints about you being the unfit one.
Yeah, I recently told her she should exercise too. She needs to take better care of herself.
That was what set her off, right? She got so angry because it's the truth. She really needs to start moving more. What's crazier is she actually thinks that you've been paying only $300 for rent. Merely a few $100 for that huge condominium. It's ridiculous. It made me realize she's gone through life without learning anything, just being coddled by mom and dad.
Yeah, it was really laughable. The way she's been living, expecting everything to be handed to her without effort. Anyway, it won't be long before she comes crawling back, I'm guessing. She should realize the truth anytime soon.
Where are you, sis? I've been looking everywhere for you. Come back. I need you here immediately. This is really important.
Did you just say sis? You mean me? I never thought you'd refer to me as your sis.
Who else would I be talking about? Of course I'm talking about you. You're my only sister-in-law.
You never called me sis before. Why are you calling me that right now, after all these years?
Shut up. At least I'm kind enough to call you that, even if I'm a bit late. Stop making a big deal about it. Just come back already. I seriously need you to return as soon as possible.
Oh, there's no way I'm coming back. I've made up my mind, and I'm not going to change it for anything. Why are you so panicked? You're acting like something terrible has happened.
You know exactly why. Don't pretend like you don't understand what's going on here. You've been paying rent, and you've never told me how much it actually cost. $3,000 a month. Can you believe it? You've been paying that this whole time? It's way more than I ever imagined. I thought it was only $300. Why did you trick me into thinking that?
Of course you didn't know. Why would you? You never paid rent in your life, or any other expenses for that matter. You weren't even planning on paying anything in the future. You're absolutely clueless when it comes to responsibility. But yes, as you said, we've been paying $3,000 for rent every month. Not $300 like you were thinking. Not at all.
What the heck? Why is it so expensive? I can't believe it costs that much.
How could you ever think it wouldn't be that much? Did you really believe it would be so cheap to live here? You sound crazy right now. Your ignorance tells me you've never had to deal with these responsibilities firsthand. You've been living off your parents' help this whole time, relying on them for everything without understanding the real cost.
Well, let me just explain. First of all, I obviously didn't think it would only be $300 a month. I just believed it because I assumed our parents were covering most of the expenses. Plus, I thought Noah would have been paying his share too, so it wasn't hard to believe. And that's why I thought you were only paying a small portion of $300 for rent every month.
I see. Well, you were seriously mistaken. And honestly, you probably didn't even think about much of it, did you? That's why this all happened. And now you're shocked by the new bills. So much that you want us to come back. But it's not our problem anymore.
You have to understand, there's no way I can pay that kind of money. Ugh, you really are an awful person. Don't you see how evil you are? You knew I couldn't afford this, and you still left me here without a second thought. You did this deliberately. You couldn't even let me know you were leaving me. You just ran away.
Exactly. I did that on purpose. Honestly, I've been holding on to a lot of resentment. There's been so much pent-up frustration and anger that I didn't show you. But I thought of how Noah handled things the same way, so I accepted the situation, even though it wasn't fair at all. Besides, your parents were normal before you came back, treating us with respect, so I didn't mind too much. I decided to just let it be. But ever since you returned, everything began to revolve around you. Even though our expenses went up with another mouth to feed, you weren't covering any cost. Besides, your parents did nothing when I brought it up to them that you should be responsible for your own expenses. And when I told you about it, you pretended not to hear me whenever I mentioned it. You had the nerve to avoid any discussion of you taking responsibility. Looking at how immature and undisciplined you are, I've honestly wanted to leave for a long time.
Whatever. Listen, there's no way I can pay this kind of rent. The amount is simply too much for me to handle alone. Please, I need you to come back and pay the rent again. I'll even help with some of the living expenses if that's what it takes. So just come back. Let's go back to how things were.
Are you serious? I can't believe this. When are you going to stop being so entitled with me? Besides, why are you expecting me to still take care of you? Especially when you've been disrespecting me by making me do everything for you. I've endured it all thinking it was for Noah, but now I see that it's not worth the sacrifice anymore. Before this, I never left the house even though I wanted to because I felt bad about abandoning you. But when you told me to leave at last, I felt liberated for the first time. This was my chance to get away from you, and I took it. I won't have anything to do with you ever again. This is the end for us, and I'm done with all of it.
You've got to listen to me. Another reason I thought you were paying a few $100 for rent is because you're always in your room. Except when you were doing chores, of course. Obviously, I think that you weren't making enough money to cover such expensive rent. I know both my brother and you have jobs, but I never imagined that you could actually pay off $3,000 every month.
Yes, I'll admit that I'm a shut-in, but that doesn't mean I'm not capable of handling my financial obligations. Don't you know? I barely leave my room, but I'm also a workaholic. I've been working tirelessly behind the scenes, even if it wasn't obvious to you.
What? How would you work so hard when you were in your room all the time?
I can't do physical labor because my body isn't that strong from my illness. It's gotten better, but I'm still pretty fragile. So I found other ways to work. Jobs that won't take a toll on my health. I've always been good at using my intellect to work, and I'm doing exactly that to make a living. Believe it or not, I'm actually a pretty popular blogger. My writing has gained quite a following, which brings in income. I make a decent amount, probably more than your average office worker. It's surprising, but blogging can be profitable.
Really? I had no idea you were doing so well for yourself. Wait, so you're making money from writing and publishing your diary? That seems too simple to be true. How does that even work?
No way. You've got it all wrong. That isn't what I do for a living at all. Do you seriously think writing a diary would make you decent money? Gosh, you're more naive than I thought. How little do you have to know about the real world to assume that? I can see you barely know anything about it. I wouldn't be able to profit off a diary at all. Only famous celebrities could make bank from that, and I'm far from being one.
Ugh, are you doing something shady? It's hard to believe you're earning so much without breaking the law.
That's a funny thought. You really are clueless, aren't you? My job is none of your business, so I'm not explaining it from scratch to you. But I will say that while you were lazily binge-watching shows for hours a day, all whilst lying around and munching on potato chips, I was working my brain to the fullest and earning money. Much more than you'd ever make. While you were wasting time to live a comfortable life, I was disciplining myself so my serious effort would pay off.
That's such a mean way to put it. That reminds me, about my study abroad plans. Were my parents supposed to cover the cost? I assumed everything was taken care of.
Oh, right. I almost forgot to tell you. You wanted to study abroad to gain some so-called skills, right? That was your big plan, to improve yourself and your future prospects? Well, your parents weren't well off enough to be able to afford the expenses, so they made us cover them. Noah and I agreed to pay this because we wanted you away from us, even if it was temporary. We thought it would be great if you disappeared somewhere, giving us some peace. But that's changed now with our departure. Since we're leaving, it's an unnecessary expense now. There's no point in paying for something that won't benefit us. So we canceled the plan to pay for your study abroad. You'll have to pay for it on your own if you really want to go. Say goodbye to your study trip in France. More like a free vacation.
That's so cruel! How could you be so heartless? I can't believe you were only going to pay for it to get rid of me.
Well, Kaylee, you were planning to come back after 6 months, expecting to be a completely different person with new skills, correct? If I remember correctly, you wanted to learn French in only half a year. Then, you thought you would finally become a competent businesswoman. You thought this would be all it takes to win you success and respect in society, remember? You might have thought this was ambitious, but we saw how ridiculous it was from the start. Why do you think we would support you on such an unrealistic goal? And yet, we thought that this experience would have been valuable for you in a different way. We wanted you to come back from France and be a bit more mature and responsible. You know, less of a burden to us. If you came back with some knowledge of the world around you, then maybe it'd be worth the effort and money. If it helped you grow in those ways, it seemed like a worthwhile investment at the time. But now that you're leaving, there's no need to spend that much. It's just not necessary anymore given the circumstances.
No way. Don't you know how much I was looking forward to it? It's something I'd been dreaming about, and now it's ruined. Without being able to study in France, I don't know what I'll do anymore. I have no reason to live. It was the one thing giving me hope and motivation, and now it's gone.
Gosh, quit sulking already. Just get a job and earn your own money. You've been spoiled enough your whole life, always getting what you want without having to work hard for it. It's time to take responsibility for your own life. Besides, you've had more than enough time to study if you wanted to. There's no excuse for not taking action earlier. You never even showed any interest in learning French before, so why do you think studying abroad will suddenly change that? You seriously think you'll magically become fluent by studying abroad for half a year? And for some reason, become successful just because you're bilingual? That's a fantasy, and it won't work. You need a more realistic approach to achieving your goals. You'd be better off getting a job and realizing how incompetent you are by facing the real world and its challenges. That would be much more beneficial for you. It's time you learned what it takes to succeed without relying on others.
But Sophia, my parents were always so kind and lenient with me. They never pushed me to do anything challenging. I've been spoiled and I don't really have any skills, just coasting through life without much abilities. Even with my part-time job, I don't make much. I can't support myself or build a future on that income alone. That's why I thought gaining new skills would help. I hoped studying abroad would give me the skills I lack.
I can't believe it. Your way of thinking is too naive. You need to wake up and see the reality of your situation. If you really want to study abroad, then work hard and earn the money yourself. Thinking you can just go abroad with other people's money and magically improve won't help you at all. That's how it's been all along. You've always lived off of others' money, never taking responsibility for yourself. That's exactly why you're so useless now. You've never learned to fend for yourself, and it shows in every aspect. Your flabby body is proof of that, isn't it? It's a clear sign that you've let yourself go, both physically and mentally.
You should have just shut up and listened to what I had to say. Don't make fun of me like this. Just come back and pay the money. That's all I'm asking of you.
You don't have any say in the situation. No matter how much you command me, or how angry you get, you're nothing but a sore loser. If you think bossing people around will make you people do what you want at your age, you're sadly mistaken. That's the reason your life turned out this way. Your attitude is terrible and you need to fix it. If you don't have money, eat less and work harder, you pig. Quit whining and discipline yourself already.
What did you just say? Don't you dare speak to me like that. Unlike you, I'm healthy. You're the one who's so frail that you can't even go outside. You've been insulting my body this whole time. You're beyond cruel.
You're right. I'm insulting you. I'm not going to pretend to be nice to you any longer. But hey, you just said you were healthy, right? Then I bet you're fit enough to work more and make money on your own. If you can't pay for that house, then you don't deserve to live there. It's not fit for you. Move to a place that suits you and live within your means. You need to know your place.
Fine. I'll do as you say. Just give me your money already. That'll settle things once and for all. I feel sorry for going too far, so please, don't be mad at me anymore.
Whatever. You're not listening to me. Anyway, I just remembered something important. Didn't you insult my husband the other day? You said you wouldn't want to be with a guy like him who's a womanizer. First of all, he's changed for the better. He's incredibly loyal. Most importantly, thanks to his past of exploring his options, he has no interest in engaging with women other than me now. He knows what that lifestyle is like, and he doesn't want it anymore. He's now fully dedicated to his career and to me. But with your personality and looks, let's just say you're not exactly appealing to anyone. I guarantee that even a playboy who's desperate for anybody wouldn't come near you. Look around you. You have nobody to depend on. So live your lonely life and realize how useless you are, you pathetic loser. My in-laws were always a couple of pushovers, but after this whole ordeal, their situation drastically changed. With nobody to pay their rent, they had to sell the house they were living in and move into a shabby apartment. They had to begin living a drastically different life. Apparently, they were quite furious with Kaylee's thoughtless behavior because of this. At last, they realized how lazy and arrogant Kaylee really was. So, her parents decided it was time to teach her a lesson. They weren't in the mood to pamper her any longer. They forced her to work in an exploitative factory and even live there as well, far removed from her former comforts. As for me and my husband Noah, we were finally free from the toxic grip of his parents. We could finally focus on living a peaceful life together without the constant stress from his family. In the end, I'm honestly grateful for Kaylee's foolish words of telling me to move out of the house. They gave us the freedom we desperately needed.